up when they pull me up, yeah. It's the two of us, I here all in love. Doing all type of shit they wish they was on. Gotta level up for you sing this song. Ooh, whoa. Hey, got no reason.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Ari.
It's your boy Corral.
And we are back with another video. Now today we're doing something a little different. You see, we're outside enjoying nature or whatever. And we wanted to talk to you guys about a few things. So today, obviously click the title, we're going to be giving like some relationship advice and, you know, how to deal with things, you know, what can be the challenges and how to overcome them. You know, we're not perfect, you know, we're a work in progress every day. But just from what we've learned we've been together for almost 3 years, so over the course of time we've learned a lot about each other, about ourselves. So, you know, we just want to shed light on that and help anybody who needs this. So, without further ado, let's get into it.
And also, guys, don't forget to subscribe, like, send it to all your friends, get them to subscribe and like. We're trying to get 100 subscribers.
Yeah, in order for me to get the camera. Yes.
She's trying to get that camera, so come on, show us some love. Show us some love.
You know, just tell your friends, your families, you know, all that. Anyways, so let's get into it. We don't want to take up too much of your guys' time. So the first thing we had on the list was, I said, make sure, you know, you close the doors that need to be closed before you open or enter a new one. So what I mean by that is, for those who say they've gotten out of a bad relationship, you know, they're now trying to start something new, make sure you've closed that door to that old baggage, you know, and you're actually done with that. And I mean that in all aspects of just life. You cannot move on properly if you don't close the door behind you so you can move on to that next door. You have it slightly open, cracked open, you know, any way you could play peekaboo through it, you're not going to get anywhere. It's just going to continue to linger. So that's what I meant by that. I don't know if you have anything to add to it.
She kind of said most of it. Gentlemen, kings, and I mean this goes for the you know, women too, but she can more speak on that part. Leave the whole you a P, as in you're a pimp, player, leave that.
All right, guys, sorry we got a little cut off. You had a phone call coming in, but back to it.
Back to what I was saying. Yeah, so gentlemen, leave all that behind. If you trying to be serious, you gotta let all that shit go. As in, forget all that whole, you know, that single life. You forget about that. Right now, you cuff. So that's it, and that's all. Ain't no. I mean, you can have female friends, but you need to set those boundaries that you are in a relationship, and you need to make sure that you. We gonna get into the whole communication part next, but so I can dig deep into that. But just leave that side behind. Like, close that door, because right now this is us now. It's not just me. So I'm not finna be texting what's name on the side, having plan B's. No, I need to work on plan A, because that's my only plan, and then I move on from there. Now, if this ain't for you, then you know, do what you do. But when you get to that moment where you are tired of the single life and it is boring and you want to settle down, be serious. Actually want to settle down and not be sitting up there playing with nobody's feelings.
Yep, I totally agree. That goes for ladies too. You know, don't get me wrong. As ladies, sometimes we miss the single life. You want to go back being single. You know, things like that. But just make sure that when you are ready for a relationship, when you're ready to commit, that you closed all those doors behind you. That's the main thing that I can't stress enough, is close those doors, because those things will linger into your relationship, and then that's when you have problems, and you don't want those problems. So you make sure that you're done, and that you can, carry on and be with the love of your life, or whatever the case may be. On to the second one. We are now going to get into communication. Now, everybody knows this, the line, communication is key, which it is, but it's deeper than that. When it comes to communicating, it's not just about having a conversation. It's not just about expressing yourself and just talking to them. You have to be the person to listen. So if you're communicating with somebody, is it an effective communication when somebody is not listening to you? If you're not being listened to, then, or you're not being heard, is the communication effective? No, it's not, because communication is not just one simple thing. It just doesn't simply, me saying something to you, and then that's end all be all. No, you have to be able to listen, hear your partner out, and that's not just with relationships. That's friendships. That's family, work, all that. Just the outside world in general, you have to be able to communicate. Communication, me and him have to work on that. To this day, we're not perfect. What you guys see here on YouTube, you guys see only like a glimpse of our life. But, we are a work in progress, and communicating is something that, we have to work on day to day. We may argue over something that might be petty or something that's really tiny, but because we're not communicating, that's what creates more of the bigger problem. Because we could be arguing about something that's so tiny, but what made the argument so big was because we were not communicating effectively.
That's absolutely correct. As in, and then when I was about to get into it, as in, communicate with your friends. Like, if you have, I don't think it's a good idea. That's just my personal opinion. But if you guys are open like that, and you guys are, you guys already talked about it, and have where she has men friends and you have female friends, but you need to make sure that you keep that communication line straight. Don't make it all wobbly. Don't forget to say things. Don't do none of that. I'm telling you, it's not worth it, because in the end, if you or her end up finding out there's more to the story of that female friend, or whatever the case may be, that's where the communication dies down, and that's where issues start to come in. So leave the communication on the table. Put everything on the table. Don't hold no secrets. Don't hold nothing back because you're afraid of how she may feel or how he may feel. Don't hold anything back whatsoever. Just saying, and that's and we're gonna get into it, because some of them also play a part in the whole communication. But any type of issues, any type of good things, bad things, voice all that, communicate all of that. Do not hold on to that stuff. That stuff kills relationships. Do not hold on to it. Because if you hold on to it and then it comes out during an argument, it comes out during public, it comes out during the fam, all these things break what's in. Now you in a predicament where somebody in the public asks you, how are you and your ex? Fuck that bitch, or fuck that nigga. Simple as that. Sorry. I'm sorry. Even though that's probably finna be bleeped out, but forget him or forget her. That's what I meant to say. Sorry.
Disclaimer, we're going to be working on our cussing, but in general, because not even just on video. We need to get those bad habits out of our mouth. Self-worth. So I brought that up because how do I put this? In order to be loved or to love somebody else, you have to know your worth and love yourself. You gotta love yourself in order for somebody to love you, and your self-worth means everything. I think what people tend to forget is that because you're in a relationship, your worthiness kind of goes down. It's just more of relationship, and that's all it's centered around. But you have to know your worth as well. Like, know what you will tolerate and what you won't. You're gonna accept things, and there are gonna be some things that you're just not gonna accept. And the what I mean by self-worth, because there's different aspects of the self-worth. Like, of course, like, don't let nobody don't let your significant other tear you down. Don't but that's just in general with anybody. You have to appreciate yourself. Give yourself credit when it's due. Don't let a relationship determine you or how you think or how you move, because at the end of the day, you are worthy, and that is something that needs to be expressed through anything. Like, and it just doesn't, like I said, yeah, this is our relationship advice to you guys, but this is just advice to yourself. Before this, I was in a bad relationship and I didn't know my worth. So I allowed the person to say whatever, do whatever, and I kind of just bowed down to it. You have to know your worth. Ladies, I'm talking to y'all. Know your worth. Don't get me wrong, men, you too. Because just like men can be manipulative, so can women. It can go both ways. So know your worth. Know yourself, if anything.
That's it. So really, yeah, you focus on yourself, because when it comes to your friends, your family, all them, they met you first. They didn't meet both of you guys. So they didn't meet like Ari and Karel. They didn't meet Ari and Karel. They met Karel. So you need to be able to, when you out with them, you can switch between the two. You can switch between it as in, okay, I'm with Ari right now, so we move. This is how we move. Or I'm by myself and this is how I move. Or this is what I do. You need to make sure that you stay grounded to who you is and who you become, who you will become, and be better. And then also, if you ever catch yourself, I'm guilty of this. If you ever catch yourself being whether it's being too serious or allowing, like, boundaries, or allowing others or your significant other to put you down, that may be something that you need to, like, nip in the bud. That may be something that's you're not seeing yourself as worthy. So then you're believing anything someone else says or your significant other says, that should not penetrate you whatsoever. Whoever you are is whoever you are, and if they cannot appreciate that or accept that, then they may need to kick rocks, or you guys need to communicate and figure out what's going on, because they may be battling with themselves. So they want, so they're just, they're unintentionally attacking it out, bringing it out on you.
It's trust. So you gotta have trust in your relationship. Simple as that. But you have to be willing to. So, I'm not only talking about things like, oh, do I trust him, or does he trust me? If you have trust issues as a person, work on that. That's all I can simply say, is work on that, because that's not only going to tear a relationship apart, that's going to tear everything apart. If you can't get past those issues, don't get me wrong, people have done me wrong, done me dirty. But how I move is really, I'll trust you until you give me a reason not to. Now, that doesn't simply mean, I meet somebody, oh my God, I trust them with my life. No. There's boundaries to that trust. But I'm not going to go in so guarded all the time, until you give me that reason. If I feel the energy and it feel bad, it feel off, I'm going to be a little standoffish, but I'm not going to just pass that judgment on you. Or, don't get me wrong, I'm human, so sometimes I can prejudge someone, which I think everybody does, something that everybody in this world needs to work on. But, just allowing yourself to trust someone, don't automatically just assume and jump to conclusions, or You know, like I said, when it comes to the past, that baggage, let it go. You can't sit there and blame somebody else for something that someone else did. You know, the things that I went through has nothing to do with this one. So I have to allow him to be him and do his part until he gives me that reason, you know, not to trust him. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, you know, be gullible, be oblivious to things, you know, because when you see something that you notice that you've already went through, yes, already be aware of that, but don't just jump to the conclusion about it, because you don't know how things can always turn out. So just establishing that trust, you know, which also ties into communication. You can't trust somebody that you don't communicate with. So you have to be able to just work towards the trust. If you're in a relationship or friendships and trust has been broken, but you want that trust to be rebuilt, work on it. It takes two, not one. You know, you have to allow that person, and that person has to try. So trust is a really big thing. So I would say communication and trust, those two things, they link together, and you need it. You need it.
Yeah, kind of. You know, yeah, kind of what she said. I'm not gonna lie. Sure, y'all can deny it if y'all want, but us men, stop lying. Stop lying. We lie a lot. That's the whole, you know, that's the player side and the pimp side, the P side, where we just lie, and to the point we lie so much it comes easy. But for real, stop lying. Like, tell the truth. If she can't handle the truth, that's something you guys need to talk about. Because then you shouldn't have lied in the first place. Just let it, give her that chance to decide if it's worth it to work it out with you. And if it's not, then it's not. So be it. You don't have to lie, because lying is just gonna make it worse.
9 times out of 10, we know the truth. I'm gonna tell you that. If a woman asks you a question, answer it truthfully, because 9 times out of 10, she already knows.
And then I mainly get on this because I know we lie a lot. Do not get me wrong.
We lie too. I would say we do it better. I ain't gonna lie. We do it better.
They lie too. And look, I already know it may feel excruciating that you don't know if they ain't lying or not, because they really are good at it. They really are good at hiding things and putting things in the right places, so you don't know whatever case may be. But 9 out of 10, if you don't find anything, they're not doing anything. They're not, honestly. If you can look into YouTube videos all you want. If you don't find nothing, they ain't did nothing. Now we lie so much that it's out in the open. So they already know, like, they got your phone or password. That's where that trust come in. That's where the trust come in. See, I'm allowed to give my phone away to her because I don't have anything to lie about. I don't have anything to hide. Now, if you can't do that, or if you always have your phone, close to your hip and tucked with you, or you can't live without it, or whatever it can be, 9 times, I wouldn't say 9, I'll say probably maybe a good 8 times out of 10, you doing something you're not supposed to be doing. Because if you can't trust your significant other with your phone, or if you can't go 20 seconds without your phone near your hip, or trying to figure out where your phone is at, you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing. And then, trust me, it's gonna get worse once your significant other finds out what you've been doing.
Yep. All right. Being spiritually connected. So what that means is, having that relationship with God, or whoever it is that you look up to, believe in. I know not everybody is very spiritual, but if you are, get connected with God, because He as our creator is the one who makes this happen, and He's gonna challenge us. He's gonna give everyone challenges, but He's not gonna give you more than what you can bear. So you have to be able to get through those things, and have that relationship with him because he's the one that does make things possible. And without him, we wouldn't be standing here today. So that's one thing I can't just speak to. I can go into depth more if you guys want later. But get the relationship with God. And I'm not just saying that for a relationship. For those who are spiritually who are spiritual, you know, make sure you do have that relationship with him because, you know, he's going to do what he can for you. Like, it's just simple as that. He never leaves your side, ever. You just make sure that you talk to him. One thing I can say is don't only talk to him when things are bad. Thank him. When you wake up, thank him for waking you up because tomorrow is not promised for either one of us. Nobody in this world. You don't know when it's your time. So, like I said before, get connected. Why are you laughing?
Nah, I saw a big old bee, so I kind of jumped a little bit. When we was younger, we went to church a lot. You know, every Sunday, every single Sunday. We never missed a day of church. But then, as we got older, due to circumstances, with mom being, raising us by herself and having to work 2-3 jobs, we weren't just her being tired. We weren't, we were going to church less and less. So now to the point where we was going to church mainly on the holidays or Mother's Day or, just special occasions. Sorry. Just trying to make sure that you keep that going. You just ease into it. Don't ever force yourself into it, because if you was never really into it and never really religious, ease your way into it. Trust me, you gonna meet the right home where you're gonna be welcomed like your family, and it's gonna feel natural. Don't ever go into it unnatural, because it won't work, and it may drive you away from it. And then for those who don't believe in it, which I totally understand. I don't really judge. Do what you do. Maybe talk to your parents. If you, you believe in them and they know more than you. Maybe talk to them. Talk to them about your sins. Talk to them about the things you've done. Ask them for advice, or because they've lived longer than you do, or your grandparents, whatever the case may be. Believe in something, and really just get well with yourself, internally and externally.
And then what we're going to do is support each other. That's something that you guys have to do. A relationship is not going to succeed if you guys do not support each other. Get on the same page. Get in the same book, okay? There may be things that, you may not agree with, or, there may be something you think that person can work on, or you don't think that's for them. For example, he wants to be an actor. I completely support him. He is very good at it. So push your significant other to go after their dreams. Don't put them down when it comes to it. If you feel like they can get better at something or they're not doing good at it, okay, well, help them. It's okay to be a critic, but be a good one. Don't put them down and just make them feel like they just can't do something. Just be supportive, because that's one thing a relationship is going to need, is some support. Because when a person is feeling down and you don't know that they're feeling down, they just need that support. Just simply saying, good job. You did good. That's something. Being there for your friends, your family, support them. I always tell my friends, I may not agree with something that you may choose, but I'm going to support you through the good and the bad through it. You make a mistake, that's fine. You fall, I fall with you. We're going to get back to up, and we're going to continue. That's what we're going to do. That's how you support a family, friends, relationships. That's how you build that foundation. So make sure you're just being supportive to anyone. That's all. Support is free. Well, it can be. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you can pay for some things, but it doesn't take much to support somebody. People need. There's too much hatred in this world. So all I can say is support, support, support. Be there for somebody. Be a helping hand. Simply being a listening ear, a shoulder to cry on. That is support. Do that for others, because a lot of people need. You don't know what somebody's going through. You don't know what their thoughts are. There's a lot of things. We'll touch on this in a different video, but there's depression, anxiety, suicide. There's so many things going on, and all people need is support. All you gotta do is support someone. So.
Yeah, she said, mostly half of what I was going to say, because that's just how we think nowadays. That'll happen. You're gonna be synced with your significant other or your friends like Bluetooth. That was a boy. You already know.
I thought he said a person's name. He said Bluetooth.
Okay. Anyway, but yeah, just keep that. Keep being supportive. Don't ever. You need to drill into your head that there is nobody in this world that's perfect, and there's nobody in this world that will ever be perfect. They'll always have their flaws, their mistakes, and they learn from them and grow from them. Now, it'd be different if you get on them because they're making the same mistake and they're not learning from it or they're not growing from it. That's different. But don't ever get on your significant other, your friends, or your family, or anyone knowing when you know that they're not perfect, and yet you ignore that. That's not being supportive. Like she said, be a good critic, not a bad critic. You could be a critic. That's okay to disagree with someone. That's okay to tell someone when they're wrong. But if you're just doing it just for the fun of it, or there's no meaning behind it, or you can't get past the you want to always be right, or you can't get past that part, you're not really supporting them or helping them. It's not really helping. Like she said, little compliments, they go a long way. Just tell your significant other, your family, your friends, I appreciate you. I appreciate everything you've done for me. Mm-hmm. Shit. If you need to, use the 3 words. I love you. If you need to, if you feel comfortable, because some people don't feel comfortable saying. I do. Look, I don't care. Just support. Like you can't say nothing. You can't say nothing better than that. Just be supportive. Be that. Just like she said, it's a lot of evil in this world. Why join them? Why don't you just be your own person and really just support and be that change that the world needs?
Mm-hmm. There's so much hatred in this world, and it takes a whole lot more energy to be upset and mad at the world and hate somebody than to just spread positivity and be there to support someone. It literally takes a lot of energy just to do that. You have to focus on that. To be positive, it don't take much. So, you guys have to strive, try harder. We're all human. We're going to make those mistakes, and we learn from them. But don't sit there and keep on making the same mistake, because after a while, that's not a mistake anymore. That's just a decision that you're deciding to make. So, yep, that's all we got for today. Like I said, we do have way more. It's just the video is already 30 minutes long.
Yeah, it's already too long, so we're going to go ahead and, if you guys wanted to hit a part 2, show your support and, subscribe, like, follow us on all our social medias.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to put everything down below. I'm going to put TikTok. I'm going to put our Instagrams. I have Twitter. He doesn't. Facebook. Just show that support. Thank you guys so much, AK family. If you are new, go ahead and like and subscribe, comment. Welcome. You're now part of the family. We're only going to get bigger and bigger. So, yeah, give it a big old thumbs up. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the wall. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
You can't see my other hand, but I did it, though. I did it.
All right, guys. See you on the next video. Bye.
Flow style shit. So let's blow up together. Let's blow up together. Take trips, make love wherever.